Hello lovers of literature, hope you are doing well. So we have been doing the Act 2, and which is quite a long act for us to go through, right? We have been doing the shorter scenes mostly, and we have the shorter scenes, right? But this scene is quite a deviation from what we have been doing lately. This is a longer scene which throws much implication on what is going to happen in Portia's love life and marriage. So this scene prepares us for the further scenes where Bassanio has to come and win over Portia. So in this scene we have the entry of Prince of Aragon, who has arrived to try his luck at choosing the correct casket, just like Morocco did. Morocco's scene was broken into two scenes, but this scene is a continuous approach to the entry of Aragon. And before he decides as to the casket, he promises Portia that he will abide by her father's rules. And what are the rules? First, if he fails to choose the casket containing her portrait, he will never reveal which casket he chose. This is the first rule. Second rule is that he promises never to court another woman. And last, on choosing the wrong casket, he will leave Belmont immediately. Reviewing the inscriptions, he rejects the lead casket, just thinking it was not beautiful enough. So there is a similarity between Morocco. He thought that why should lead casket, the basest of all metals, should consider or should have Portia's picture. But he thinks it's not beautiful enough to give and risk all possessions for. So both their thoughts on lead casket is quite the same. But he rejects the gold casket, unlike Morocco. Why? Because with the inscription out there, what many men desire, he thought what many men desire should not be my choice, because I am somehow different from the others. So he doesn't want to be at par with the barbarous multitude, that is the common sort. Okay? So that is his reason of not choosing the gold casket. So if it is asked why he did not choose the gold casket, you have to be prompt to the answer. You have to tell that he did not choose the golden casket because he did not want to be a part of all men. He wanted to be somehow different because he thought he deserves the right thing. That is why he chose the silver casket, because the words over there are, of course, what you will get what you just deserve. So he thinks that I am the person who deserves as much as I think I should. See these lines. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. So Aragon reviews his worth and decides that he will assume desert, that he feels he rightfully deserves Portia. So that is why he thinks that he should choose silver casket. So isn't there a complete contrast between what he deserves and what he actually sees after he opens the silver casket? What does he see? He sees a blinking idiot. And then he laments, he repents, and he tells, did I deserve no more than a fool's head? So is that what I deserve? Portia reminds him, excuse me, extremely sorry. Portia reminds him that no man is permitted to judge his own cause. That means you are not the one who should judge what you deserve and what you do not deserve. The scroll in the silver casket reads, there be fools alive, I wise know, silvered over, and so was this. So there are fools who just think that they are enough wise. Silver stands for wisdom. Don't we see that silver here stands for wisdom? So, but they're actually not wise. They're actually fools. So this is an irony, okay? Because what he thinks he deserves is actually completely a boomerang. It's completely a different choice that is set forth in front of him. Now that is what the episode of choosing. Now after that comes Portia is of course relieved that he chooses the wrong casket, because she thinks there is something yet to arrive, because she gets that hope, and she makes this very important speech. Oh, these deliberate fools. Why these fools are deliberate? Because they come and make the deliberate attempt to win over Portia. And that is how they take the risk, and that is how they're proved wrong each time, be it the case of Morocco, be it the case of Aragon. After having said that, there comes a happy news. A servant comes and announces the arrival of a Venetian ambassador from another suitor and adds that he brings gifts. In fact, in the messenger's estimation, the man who accompanies the latest suitor is so likely an ambassador of love. Why? Because it is said, a day in April never came so sweet, as if he brings the greetings of spring. That is, spring stands for the season of love. He brings the greetings of spring, even for a costlier summer. So summer actually stands for Bassanio. Bassanio seems the real man behind this messenger, or behind the spring season, is more grand or grander. Okay? So if the spring seems to be so promising, of course the summer is costlier. So if the messenger brings so many of gifts, then of course the man behind proves to be even more costly than what he is like. So that is how the scene can be divided, okay? Now, if you ask me the implication of the scene focuses on Prince Aragon's choice of 3 caskets. I've told you. The Prince of Morocco was straightforward in his choice. He chose the gold casket. It seemed to be the most obvious, most desirable choice. But in contrast to Morocco's choice, Prince of Aragon's choice is done with more prudence. The prince is a proud man. He seems older than Morocco and almost boldless. So he is not that brave and passionate man as Morocco was. So there can be a contrasting character sketch between Morocco and Aragon. You have to tell that Morocco was a braver, bolder, passionate man who had his choice straightforward, whereas Aragon is a man who seems to be more pragmatic, more prudent, who makes choice according to the practicality of the scenario. But he is also arrogant. That is why he is the one who chooses the wrong casket, because he himself designs what he deserves, which should not be the case. Okay, and this kind of arrogant temperament is of course something that is expected of a Spanish prince of a noble blood. That Aragon is. Once again, we hear the ambiguous inscriptions read for us. And we ourselves puzzle over the enigma of the metals and the relationships to the inscriptions. So this entire lottery is as if a revelation in front of us. Aragon considers the caskets, but he does not make Morocco's obvious choice, that is gold. Why? Because he thinks what many men desire. He thinks he is someone who is not many men. He's somewhat different. And he thinks that the full multitude that choose by show, that is, he is not the foolish common lot. Okay? We can agree with that logic, but But we have to reject his reasoning ultimately because it is based on his absolute assumption of how superior he is in front of everyone. Now the silver inscription, who chooseth me get as much as it deserves, of course, prompts his observations from line number 35 to 48, in which he laments the fact there is so much undeserved dignity. In the world, he means those who are given honor without coming by it legitimately. So people who deserve things may not get those things. The speech of Aragon from line number 35 and 48 is quite a reflective speech, which also shows Aragon is a pragmatic man and a witty man. It shows us that many people deserve what they actually should not have got, just because of the true seed of inheritance, just because someone of their forefather may have got it. Okay, so that is a very important point made by Aragon. That is why I say he is someone who is more pragmatic in his choice, unlike Morocco. Now, in the suitor's choice, there is a theme, contrasting theme, illusion, reality. So they both, Morocco and Aragon, are pervaded by illusion. Why? Because Morocco was pervaded by the thought that gold was something of a more pricey metal, and Portia, who is such a grand lady, should be coveted by gold. Right? And inside he gets a skull, telling us that gold is only the apparent reality. And here Aragon chooses the silver casket just because he thinks he is the rightful owner of Portia. But what he gets is a foolish person, blinking idiot. So that is what he actually is, of thinking or considering himself to be somewhat greater. Okay? So these two suitors are completely eluded by the evasive nature of the caskets. So this theme is very important. And the scene ends on a fairy tale note. Okay? Why? Because we have the messenger coming and the servant coming and announcing that the messenger, who is compared to April, has brought sweet laurel. See these lines. A day in April never came so sweet, as if that is a gala fairyland, where the lovers are just thought to be romanticizing on the eve of spring. And it is also that the audience is prepared for something costlier. See, to show how costly summer was at hand, as if summer is about to come and is about to bring richer rewards. So that is how the scene ends, on a complete fairy tale in notion. Okay, so these are the breaking parts of the scene, which is very important for your understanding. Never miss on the background. Never. Because that will give you a thorough understanding into the scene. I repeat myself once more. This scene has Aragon as its protagonist. Right? Who thinks that he should be the rightful owner of what he deserves. And he thinks that he deserves Portia. It is never mentioned whether he loves Portia, as Morocco has narrated. It is just that he thinks that he should be the rightful owner of Portia. Okay? So that is to be remembered. And also, this scene brings in front of us a witty discourse of Aragon, to himself, of course. Okay, he soliloquizes, in fact, he talks to himself and brings in front of us how many men get what they should not have got. Okay, that is also important. And it also prepares us for something that is going to happen in the next scenes. So having said that, let us get into the scene. It is of course set in Belmont, because Belmont, I've already told you long back, Belmont is a place of love, romance, poetry, isn't it? So it is a room in Portia's house. Enter Nerissa with a servant. Quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. Just draw the curtain straight. Just, the Prince of Aragon had taken his oath. So Prince of Aragon has taken his oath and comes to his election presently and comes to make his choice right away. Flourish of cornets, enter the Prince of Aragon, Portia and the trains. Portia, behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. So there are the caskets, prince. If you choose that wherein I am content, if you choose the right casket where I am content, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. If you choose the one in which my picture is content, our wedding ceremony will be performed at once. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately. So if you fail, without further talk or conversation, you just have to leave the place immediately. So that is the first condition. I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. So I know I am obliged by oath to observe 3 things. Now these 3 things are important. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket it was I chose. So I cannot ever tell to anyone that which casket was it that I chose. Next, if I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in a way of marriage. So if I choose the wrong casket, I can never marry another person in my life in terms of love or romance. First, I cannot unfold to anyone which casket. Second, I cannot marry anyone else. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone. So I have to just leave you and be gone. These are the 3 terms and conditions laid out by Portia's father, which Aragon is well aware of. To these injunctions, everyone doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. So she tells everyone who comes to risk their fortune for my worthless self swears to these conditions. So these are the conditions that they swear to. To these injunctions, everyone doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. And so have I addressed me, fortune now to my heart's hope. So, and I have braced myself accordingly. Aragon says, I'm prepared to have braced such a fortune where I do not know what is bound to happen. Just hoping that I choose the right casket. Gold, silver, base leads. Who chooseth me must give an hazard. So lead says that who chooses me shall only get hazard. You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard. So you shall look more beautiful, isn't it? Lead seems not to be beautiful enough. What the hazard? What says the golden casket? Ha, let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire? That many may be meant by the fool multitude. So here he goes wrong. He says that what many men may desire, that means I do not want to be a part of the multitude. I want to be someone different. That fallacy of being someone different, thinking himself to be someone different, is the problem behind the choice of Aragon. Okay? So he says, who chooseth me shall gain what many men may desire. What many men may desire. So many may be meant that everyone. So I am not just everyone. The choose by show, that may choose by the outward show, not learning more than the fond eye. So just that I may be led by the foolish eyes of just taking gold as the most auspicious metal. That's what Morocco did. Which pries not to the interior. So gold does not look deeper into the interior. Do not look closely to the interior, but like the martlet. Now here this comparison is very important. He compares that gold does not look deeper into the interior self, but just like a house martin or a martlet builds in the weather on the outward wall. Just like a martlet or a house martin, a bird of the martlet is actually a martin. So what does a martin does? The house martin builds the nest in the open air on the outer walls of building. And of course, if you build someone at the outer walls, what will happen? You will be prone to further shocks of winds, of heat, everything. Okay, so builds in the weather on the outward wall, even in the force and road of casualties. And that is how it is exposed to all the casualties, all the shocks, accidents. I will not choose what many men may desire. So this part is entirely the reason behind why he did not choose gold. It's very important. Because I will not jump. Now he tells why. I will not jump with the common spirits. I do not want to be someone, common men. And rank me with the barbarous multitudes. I am not someone who is reasonless. I am reasonable enough not to rank myself with the barbarous multitudes. Why then to thee, thou silver treasure house, tell me once more what title thou dost bear? Then after having rejected lead for not being beautiful enough, having rejected gold because he doesn't want to stand at par with the common multitude, and he also compares the common multitude with a martin bird which makes its nest on the outer walls, just making it prone to shocks and calamities. Why then to thee, thou silver treasure house, tell me once more what title thou dost bear? He resorts to the silver and asks as if to the casket, what title do you contend? Tell me once more what title thou dost bear? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. So that is the thing, okay? That means that is what gets him. As much as he deserves. And he tells, oh, that is the rank. I deserve what I should deserve. Actually, he is correct. But where he goes wrong is that how could he know what he deserves? Okay, so he makes the choice himself. That is his problem. But what he thinks that you should get what you deserve is completely correct. That is why I said that he is a man who chooses by his pragmatism. And well said too, for who shall go about to cause in future fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? So he says, why should someone have cheated on fortune? Why should someone inherit something just because of being fortunate and just being someone, an heir to the honorable family, without the stamp of merit, without the stamp of your own earning or your own hard-earned labor? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. So no one should wear the garb of honor and respectability which a person does not deserve. Everyone should be getting what he or she deserves. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices. So many people deserve estates, which they should not deserve. Estates is high social rank. And then many people deserve degrees. Degrees is positions of honor, even though they do not deserve it. Some people, they deserve offices, appointments, which even they do not deserve. were not derived corruptly? So if they do not deserve, yet they derive it, isn't it corruption? So it makes us think. And that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. And clear honor should be begot by the skill of the person wearing that badge of honor. So a person should be righteous enough to get what he or she deserves. Very, very important speech by Aragon here, and such a pragmatic man. Only part where he gets wrong is he makes the wrong decision. He thinks that he deserves. That vanity just makes him down, but he is a pragmatic man. How many then should cover that stand bare? Then there are so many people who just wear the high rank hats without being deserving of that entire position. In fact, they should stand bareheaded. How many be commanded that command? So how many men who command actually should be slaves or should be commanded at? How much low peasantry would then be gleaned from the true seed of honor? That means if we think that how much low peasantry should, so that how many of those worthy of honor would be picked out from those considered worthless and ruins? So if we take, like, suppose this is a basket of grain, the people who covered that basket of grain are mostly people who do not deserve it. They're just chaff, useless. So true seed of honor is metaphor. There is a comparison between honor with that of honor and seeds. So honor should be something that should be true of what you should deserve. And how much honor picked from chaff and ruin of the times? So how much honor can be gathered from the chaff? People think it is useless, they just throw it. But actually maybe honor or honorable men here. So it is metonymy. It is saying honor, but actually it means honorable men. So he says, maybe so many honorable men are hiding behind waste material. To be new varnished, to be newly adorned. So we should rethink. That is what he says. We should rethink between the dictum of what is actually honorable and what is not. Well, but to my choice, who chooseth me shall get as much as it deserves. I will assume desert. So those words I told you before also took him into, right? He says, I will make my choice. I will assume desert. I will take what I deserve. I will assume desert means I will take what I deserve. Give me a key for this and instantly unlock my fortunes here. He opens the silver casket. Now there comes the irony. Too long a pause for that which you find there. So as if he's taking such a long pause, he's just seeing there. Because he's speechless, he can't believe that his merit, his intelligence is interrupted. How come has it happened? A man who is too proud, if that man's belief system is shattered, that man falls apart, thinking what's wrong? That's what happens with Aragon, okay? What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot presenting me a schedule? Presenting me a scroll of paper? I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? So how unlike to Portia's picture? I see here a blinking idiot. How much unlike my hopes and my deservings? How much unlike as to what I had hoped and what I had deserved? Have I deserved this? Who chooseth me shall have as much as it deserves. So again he quotes, did I deserve no more than a fool said? So he laments, he quotes and he laments as if he cannot believe the irony of the situation. To offend and judge are distinct offices, very important part. Portia reminds Aragon that this is where he went wrong. To offend and judge, that is to commit an offense and to pass judgment on the offense are two different actions and completely opposite to each other. As Aragon questions what he has been given, that is blinking idiot, Portia tells him he has made an error in choosing the wrong casket, and it is not his role to question the outcome. It is just that he has chosen the wrong thing. Aragon cannot be first a chooser having agreed to the terms, and then a critic of the competition. So he cannot just stand there and be a criticizer of the entire lottery. So he should just go away and abide by the norms. So he has to leave, isn't it? What is here? Reads, the fire 7 times tried this. This is very important speech. So silver, we know, has been tried by the fire 7 times. Okay? So judgment that never makes a mistake is tested 7 times. That way silver is. That did never choose amiss, that should never choose wrong. Some there be that shadow kiss. Some people just are in so much of self-obsessed nature that they might kiss their own shadows. Okay? That is where vanity takes them to. Such have but a shadow's bliss. Such may be the illusion of happiness. I told you there is a contrasting theme between illusion and reality. This is what exactly it is. Shadow is illusion. So as if he was just kissing a shadow, just hoping that it was the bliss or peace. There be fools alive, I wish. So I'm sure those people are fools. Silvered over, and so was this. Silvered over means having white hair silvered, which hides their folly by making them look wise. So even though they are wise, that is, they have silvered hair, yet they make the wrong choice. So silver is a kind of disguise here. As gold was something that was appearance versus reality, silver is a garb between illusion and reality. I will ever be your head, so be gone, you are sped. So just be gone, you will always be a fool. That's what he says. Ironically, in trying to move away from the fool multitude, isn't it he said that I want to move away from the fool multitude. But he is moving away from the fool multitude, but actually what is he? He is a foolish man. So this is irony, complete irony. So Aragon actually proves to be a fool by moving away from the foolish multitude because he was proud enough. So be gone, you are sped. Still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. So he tells, I'll be more foolish if I stand here. With one fool's head I came to woo. So I've come here to woo or to marry with one foolish head. But I will go away with 2. So I should not stand here more. Why he says that with 2 I will go away? Because he gets a blinking idiot's face, isn't it? Sweet adieu, I'll keep my oath, patiently to bear my wrath. So I will go away and I will patiently bear my misfortune. And there he exits with his train. Now Portia says, this is also quite an important speech by Portia. She tells, thus hath the candle singed the moth. The candle is for the suitors and the candle is for the casket. I'm extremely sorry. And the moth is the suitor who just comes deliberately to be burnt in the candle. So love and passion, desire is such a burning thing that burns you out. Oh, these deliberate fools, as if they deliberately make this choice of turning to be a fool. Why? Because they come as if to be attracted by this illusion, the candle. When they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose. So when they choose, they set out to choose, their reasoning, that is their wit, gives them enough good sense, wisdom to choose wrongly. So that means they have wrong reasons to choose the wrong things. They are wrong people. Their wisdom, their wit that they think are correct are actually wrong. That is why they deliberately make this attempt to choose something wrong. Now Nerissa says, the ancient saying is no heresy. The ancient saying is no false teaching. Hanging and wiving goes by destiny. So your death and your marriage are chosen by destiny. Portia says, come, draw the curtain, Nerissa, enter a servant. So that part is over. Now we are relieved, isn't it? Where is my lady? Here. What would my lord? So what do you want, my lord? Madam, there is alighted at your gate a young Venetian. So there is a messenger, young Venetian messenger, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, who has come before to tell his lord is coming, from whom he bringeth sensible regreets, from whom he brings substantial greetings. He brings a lot of riches from that man. To wit, besides, commends and courteous breath. So that is to say, to wit, that is to say, he brings compliments and he brings polite words. And also he brings gifts of rich value, which shows that they are not only bringing rich things, grand things, but they are also humble. It prepares us for the humility that Bassanio will show by choosing lead casket. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. I have not seen a messenger of love like that. A day in April never came so sweet. So as if the day in April is the sweetest. It is the sweetest April day I have ever seen. April here stands for the messenger, and the summer hereafter stands for the real man, Bassanio. To show how costly summer was at hand, to show how costly or how richer actually the summer or the Lord will be. If spring is sweet, then summer will be the Lord. As this four-sparrow comes before his Lord, as his messenger comes before his Lord, Portia says, no more, I pray thee. I am half afraid. Portia says, no more. I just don't want to meet anyone. I'm so scared. Thou wilt say anon, he is some kin to thee. So you will say that he is some relation of yours, the way you are speaking in good terms. Thou spendest such high day wit in praising him. The way you are praising him, high day wit means good words. You will tell that he is some kind of relation for you. Come, Nerissa, for I long to see. So see, in one end, she is scared. In another end, she wants to see. Why? Because she thinks that it might be Bassanio. No one knows it. Quick Cupid's post. So I want to see that Cupid's messenger. Cupid is, of course, the Lord, the God of love. That comes so mannerly, that comes with such good behavior. Bassanio, Nerissa says, Bassanio, Lord love, if thy will it be. So may it be Bassanio. That is what Nerissa prays, and the scene ends on a happy, optimistic, fairy tale kind of sequence, isn't it? This is a very, it is quite a good scene. It has a concoction or a mixture of wisdom, love, preparing us for the further scenes, pragmatism, and of course, the brilliant speech by no other than Aragon. So this scene is a perfect scene according to me. That is how Act 2 ends. And we are to go to the next act. With that note, you know what you have to do. You have to put in your comments, your feedbacks, and everything out there in the comment section. Please do comment, like, and of course, consider subscribing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.